Hi and welcome. We're going to go over this problem today, the length of the last word, and we're going to use umpire method to problem solve here. So the problem statement is given a string S consisting of words and spaces, return the length of the last word in the string. The word is a maximal substring consisting of non-space characters only. So we want to go about to understand this problem, and how do we go about doing that? So we want to know what the input is. The input is a string. And the output is the length of the last word in the string. And so we have examples here that we can look over. So if the string is hello world, then there's a space separated by hello world and the last word, um, indicating, and the space indicates that the last word is world here. So the word is world with length of 5. And then the output is 5. So that's that's example 1. And then we have another example of this string flying to the moon with lots of spaces in it. And so this empty space at the end of moon is not taken, it is not taken to be anything. So the last word is between these two spaces. So the second to last space that separates the moon is going to indicate that moon is the last word. And so the last word is moon with length of 4. So the output is 4. So in the input S equals Luffy is still Joy Boy, we have the last word is Joy Boy. It's separated by the space between still and Joy Boy. And the last word is so the last word is Joy Boy with length of 6. So now that we have an understanding of this problem, we can go to the match phase of the umpire process and look at similar problems. So similar problems here are iteration problems. So you have to loop over string, and then there are also space as a sentinel for conditionals problem. So so any sentinel conditional problem is similar to this problem. So now that we have understanding of what kind of similar problems we're working with here, we can go about planning this problem. So the first step is to consider input or get input S in the function, and then we want to set flag equals 0 and count equal to 0. So the count is going to be for counting the number of letters in the last word, and the flag is going to be uh, for the case where we have something like fly me to the moon here in example 2, where there's a space at the end, and we want to meet with the first lettered character and not the space. And that will just so the flag will take care of that. Okay, so then we want to iterate over the string S backwards, right, and range length of S. So we want to um, if S length of I or length of s minus I minus 1 is equal to O dot, and then we just dot alpha, dot is alpha. So if it's a lettered character, so we're working with the example 2 case, so we want to find a lettered character and flag equals 0, then we want to return, or we want to set flag equals 1 and set count equals to 1. And then if s length s minus I minus 1 equals the open space and flag equals 1, then we want to consider returning the count. And then for flag is equal to 1, then we want to increment the count. And then if we outside of for loop, we return the count. So that's in the case where we only have a single word like wood or something like that, or we have something like this, where there's a space on the end, and wood is the first and last character of, or first and last word of the string. And so if we have something like this or this, then we're going to return the count of wood. Okay, so now that we have the plan, we can implement this plan. So we have the input s, and then we set flag equals 0 and count equals to 0. And then for I, in range length s, we have if s length s minus I minus 1 dot is alpha, and flag equals 0, then if one set flag equals 1 and count equals 1, then elif if s length s minus I minus 1 equals this, and flag equals 1, then we return count, and then if flag equals 1, we have count equals 1. So then return count if we exit the loop. So we can run the code now. We got accepted submission, and our code is accepted. So we will go to the next step, which is to review the code. So the code is right here in Python Tutor. So we want to go through printing this length of last word function. So we take in the input, which is the hello world, and then we set count equals 0, flag equals 0, and then we enter the loop, the for loop, and then we check the last word or last letter of the string, or last element of the string, and see that it's a letter and the flag equals 0, so we enter the if statement and we set flag equal 1 and count equal to 1. And then we go through the loop again, and then in the second instance, we don't have the first condition, so the second condition is flag equals 1 now, and the second condition isn't fulfilled either because there's not a space at the second to last element of the string, and so we skip the second elif, and then we go to elif flag equals 1, and that's satisfied. So we increment the count, and we go through again. And we notice that the first two if conditions are if else conditions are skipped, so the last condition is taken, and we increment the count. And we increment the count 5 times until we hit the space, and we exit to return the count, just 5. So now that we have a good review of this problem, now we can evaluate. So the evaluation of this problem is an ON time complexity, and that's because we have this one for loop which ranges over the length of S. So n is the input size, which is the length of S. So the time complexity is O of n, and we have O of 1 space complexity because we don't use anything extra, any extra arrays or anything like that. We just modify the string or actually use it in our code. So we don't take into consideration any extra space. So that completes the analysis of this problem, that length of last word. So thanks for listening.